magic woman, got a black magic woman. I've got a black magic woman, got me so blind I can't see. That she's a black magic woman, she's trying to make a devil out of me. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Yes, don't turn your back on me, baby. Stop messing around with your tricks. Don't turn your back on me, baby. You just might pick up my magic sticks.
Good afternoon, family and friends, and welcome. My name's Paul Cosmos and I'm a funeral celebrant. Before we start today, can I ask that everyone's please check that their phones are switched off or are onto silent? And to those of you live streaming today's service, to Phil Bird watching in the US, and to those family and friends unable to be with us here today, I ask that you turn up your devices and come and join us as we come together here this afternoon to not only mourn the passing of Allan Duncan, but as we come together to celebrate his life. I'd like to ask Sergeant Laurie Lucas to come up and say the police ode.
Allan, ladies and gentlemen, as the sun surely sets, dawn will see it arise. For the service above self demands its own prize. You have fought the good fight. Life's race has been run, and peace your reward for eternity begun. And we that are left shall never forget. Rest in peace, friend and colleague, for the sun has now set. We will remember, hasten the dawn. Thank you.
We gather here today to remember and celebrate the life of Allan. In the midst of your grief, we come together to honour Allan's journey, to share your memories, and to find solace in the love and connections that binds all of you here today. Allan was more than a name. He was a beacon of light in the lives of those he touched. His vibrant spirit, warm heart, and unwavering support brought joy to countless people. Today we celebrate his life, his legacy, his impact, and the love that will forever remain in all of your hearts. What a man Allan Duncan was. A man who was dedicated to serving people. A man who liked things done with meticulous order. A man who lived every day of his life to the fullest. A man who left this world way too soon, but with few regrets. He was always cool, calm and collected. A man who was very much loved by Tish and by Carly, James, Glenn and Ruby. a man Tish said was her soulmate. Allan was a cherished partner to his fiancée Tish. He was a much-loved father and father-in-law to Carly and James and to Glenn, and he was a devoted oppa to Ruby. Allan was born in Blacktown on the 1st of June 1955 to parents Alfred and Lorna, and he was a much-loved brother and brother-in-law to Raymond, Lynn and Rob, and to Wendy. You know, often when I go to meet with a family to discuss a loved one's service, in this case with Tish and Carly, I go armed with my 6-page questionnaire, hoping to ask all the right questions, so as to hear a loved one's life story and stand before you all here today and tell that story. Sometimes when I meet with a family, it becomes obvious very early that someone, in this case Wendy, Allan's sister, has already written that loved one's life story. And so rather than me stand here and try to recreate that life story, it's best if that loved one came up and told that story themselves. And so I'd like to ask Wendy to come up and remember Allan for us.
This is very hard. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, my name's Wendy Duncan. I'm Al's baby sister. We gather here today to celebrate the life of a remarkable soul, my beloved brother, Allan Duncan. As we stand together in both grief and gratitude, we remember the vibrant spirit that touched each of our lives in a unique and profound ways. Al was not just a sibling, he was a beacon of light in our lives, a source of unwavering support and boundless love. Born 1st of June 1955 to our father Alfred and mum Lorna, he brought joy and laughter into our family from the very beginning. His infectious smile could light up the darkest room, and his laughter was deep and real, and that echoed in our hearts. From childhood adventures to shared triumphs and tribulations, Al was an integral part of our journey. He was not just a brother, he was a confidant, a partner in crime, and a friend who knew us better than we knew ourselves. His kindness knew no bounds, and his generosity was a testament to the warmth that radiated from his compassionate heart. Al had an insatiable curiosity and a passion for life that inspired everyone around him, whether it was pursuing his interests, embracing new challenges, or simply lending a listening ear. He approached life with an open heart and indomitable spirit. His determination and resistance were a source of inspiration, reminding us all to face adversity with courage and with grace. Al loved to travel, both abroad, as he did when he was just 21 years old, and then exploring for 12 months with Tish, his partner, the off-the-beaten track travelling all around Australia as well as Tasmania. Along the way, collecting some very unique pieces of driftwood, which was to satisfy his creative flair. At times problematic with the amount he wanted to bring home, unfortunately. He truly was at home with nature and with the elements. I've got a funny little story, and I didn't type it up, but I just thought I have to tell it. Prior to Al starting work, I would say he was very early teens. He was a bit naughty, and he got an air rifle, and putting it to practice, he made me. We had a garage, with the garage doors that lift up front ways, and he made me walk like a duck in a shooting gallery along the back, and he what? Oh, yeah, right. Anyway, made me walk like a duck, the whole thing was a quack, 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 And he shot me in the knee. So that was, you know, the sign that he did want to have something to do with the police force somehow. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm really glad I said that. Upon returning from his overseas travels, Al applied to be in the police force. At first, was told he may be too slight, not strong physically enough. He worked at that issue and was eventually recruited. His career was long, incredible and full of achievements. Al has made many lifelong friends in the New South Wales Police Force, and many of you are here today. Thank you. He had a profound impact on those lucky enough to know him, leaving an imprint in the hearts of everyone he encountered. Al was not just a presence, he was a force of nature, a force that made us better, kinder and more compassionate individuals. Al was reserved with his words. However, whatever he spoke, it was profound and stayed in our memories. He had a dry wit, and everyone here, I'm sure, has witnessed his disapproval growl, which had an ever so faint clearing of the throat afterwards, which just determined that. As we mourn the loss of Al, let us also celebrate the beautiful tapestry of memories he wove into our lives. We will always remember his laughter, his kindness, and the love that he so freely shared. Though he may no longer be with us in the physical sense, his spirit lives on in the stories we tell for years to come, the lessons that we've learnt, and I've certainly learned a few, and the love we continue to share. In our grief, we will find solace in the knowledge that Al touched our lives in special ways, leaving behind a legacy of love and laughter that will endure for generations to come. Alex, you better hurry up. May his memory be a guiding light, reminding us to cherish the moments we have and to live our lives with the same passion and joy that Al embraced. Rest in peace, Al. Dear Al, my brother, your love will live on in our hearts forever. Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. Beautifully said. And now Tish and Carly are going to come up.
My dearest Al, how did 14 years flash by? Yeah. How did 14 years flash by in a blink of an eye? We certainly filled those years with an abundance of memories, more memories than some create in an entire lifetime. Your adventurous spirit, your creativity, your wit, humour and vocabulary, your caring, and above all, your love knew no bounds. But we can't forget how your creativity led to a love of collecting driftwood and rocks, especially during our camping trip around Australia, leading to a somewhat heavier vehicle than the sand dunes of Fraser Island could handle, resulting in a failing gearbox. Once the collection of timber and rock was unloaded, the mechanic shook his head and said, "That'd do it." This is precisely how you lived your life. No half measures. You left no regrets. You didn't walk through life. You lived life. Your vision was wide. Your heart was large. Your family was everything. Your love was immeasurable, and your memory will be eternal. Al may no longer be physically here, but he has gifted me a loving family. And it's the biggest gift of all. Al's loving heart, community spirit and drive were instrumental in shaping Glenn and Carly's careers. Due to growing up with Al's police work, community awards, bravery awards, Rotary Club Citizen of the Year award, helping Hawkesbury youth via the Blue Light Discos, starting up a volunteer service with Al Baker for PTSD support at Xavier Ward, St John of God, North Richmond. This was after retiring from the police force, so he kept dedicating his life to helping police. We would be hard-pressed to find anyone matching you, so it's not goodbye. We will be with you again. By the way, we did get your last message after you passed, and we have kept it, and we approve of what you did. That's it. Yeah, and we'll be with you again one day. It's definitely not goodbye.
I'd now like to ask Paul McHugh to come up and do the police tribute.
It was lovely to hear those heartfelt words from the family. I've been given the honour of reading out Al's record of service today, and then I'll also say a few words on a personal note. So this is Detective Sergeant Allan Duncan's record of service with the New South Wales Police Force. Allan Duncan, registered number 18922 of Class 165, began his police service as a trainee at the Police Academy in Redfern between September and December 1979. On completion of his training, he commenced general duties at Number 1 Division, which was Central, with a short stint at Number 8 Division, which is Balmain. And that was between 79 and 1983. In 1983, transferred to Windsor Police Station in general duties. In 1985, he was promoted to the rank of Constable First Class. In 1988, he was promoted to the rank of Senior Constable. In 1989, he moved into the field of criminal investigation at Windsor Police Station. In 1991, he received his detective designation. In 1993, he transferred to Granville Police Station in criminal investigation. In 1995, he was promoted to the rank of Detective Sergeant. In 1995, he transferred to Parramatta Police Station, also in criminal investigation. In 1995, he was awarded the National Medal. In 2003, he was awarded the New South Wales Police Medal. In 2003, he was also awarded the second clasp to the New South Wales Police Medal. Al remained at Parramatta Police Station until his retirement in 2002. In 2016, he was awarded the National Police Service Medal. Within the record of service are a number of complimentary remarks which I'd like to read out now. Senior Constable Duncan was commended for the rescue of a person attempting suicide at Windsor in 1989. As a result of that rescue, he was awarded the Certificate of Merit from the Royal Humane Society. In 1991, Senior Constable Duncan was named the Rotary Citizen of the Year for service to youth and the community. In 1992, Senior Constable Duncan was awarded the Brett Sinclair Memorial Award for outstanding and professional commitment to the police service, and in particular the Windsor Patrol during the last 12 months. There's also a notation of appreciation for his excellent contribution during the Sydney Olympics in 2000. Also in 2000, Detective Sergeant Duncan received a letter of appreciation from the Operations Manager of Adventist Media with respect to retrieving some stolen property belonging to the organisation. Also in 2000, there was a notation acknowledging an investigation by Detective Sergeant Duncan which resulted in serious drug charges against numerous individuals. Whilst at Parramatta, Detective Sergeant Duncan received a local area commander's commendation for outstanding and professional commitment in the reduction of crime. Lastly, Detective Sergeant Duncan was recognised for his good police work during Operation Kalbarga, with a special note regarding his outstanding interviewing skills. That's Allan's record of service. If you don't mind, I'd just like to say a few words. I was supposed to go to Castle Hill Police Station when I graduated from the Academy in January '85. At the last minute, they sent me to Windsor. Looking back, I'm so thankful for that, as it brought me into the world of Allan Duncan. One of my earliest memories involving Al related back to a shift. We were both working when there was a break-in on a business in Vineyard early one morning. The crook had done the bolt, but we managed to nab him. Back at the station, I completed what I thought was a thorough search of the crook, but no cash was located on him, despite evidence that the till had been raided. Al disappeared into the charge room and emerged a short time later carrying a wad of cash rolled up like a cigarette. He said, "Next time, get him to bend over and touch their toes." There's no guessing where Al found the cash. It didn't take me long to work out that Al was the bloke you went to for guidance. One of the things that really struck me about Al was his communication skills, incredibly valuable tool as a police officer. Al had the knack of making whatever adjustment was required to deal with the situation at hand. Whether that was to show empathy to a victim of crime, extract information from a witness, or build rapport with someone he'd just arrested. It was Al's superpower. Al wasn't just a skilled and highly proactive investigator. He also took on the role of social director, and for good reason. He knew how tough the job could be, and so he worked to ensure the police bond was as tight as it could be. A big part of that was getting the general duties, the detectives, the beats, the prosecutors, administrative staff, even the High Patrol, together, not just at work but socially. The legendary loft came to be for that purpose. It was an upstairs area of an old barn behind the Windsor Police Station that Al made into a bar. It probably didn't meet OH&S requirements, as John Rand can testify, as he found a number of ways to get down the tricky stairs after many a social occasion. Al had the place humming and made us into a really close bunch. His work colleagues were not the only ones who felt the Al Duncan impact. Al came up with the idea to run a blue light disco, as Tish mentioned, in the Hawkesbury, one Friday night each month as a way to support the local youth in the area. He rallied the troops to make sure he had the required police volunteers to support it, flagging it was a good opportunity to socialise outside work and perhaps maybe share a cold beer afterwards. It was no surprise to see it was a huge success, and it became a big responsibility for Al, but he took it in his stride. His youth and community work was later acknowledged and awarded by Rotary, which is also noted on Al's record of service and mentioned also earlier. Al also trained to become a police peer support officer, which speaks volumes about what he was about. Such was the character of the man. Al was always looking at ways to provide support to his colleagues. I was lucky enough to also work with Al in Parramatta Detectives Office in the 90s. I recall whilst he was at the rank of Detective Sergeant, Al being called upon to relieve as a duty officer, which is at the rank of an inspector. This role brought with it a different set of responsibilities that often kept you confined to barracks. Now, Al was never one to sit at a desk and cover off on the paperwork. He loathed it. He just wanted to be out there where his skills were best utilised, backing up the troops on the street and sniffing out the crooks. At that level, he was a breath of fresh air, and the young officers at Parramatta loved him for it. I remember that proactive and fearless Al Duncan nature came to the fore early one morning on Parramatta Road at Granville, when Al was doing what Al does. He was the night shift duty officer at Parramatta, There was no way he was going to hook into a bunch of files when he could get out amongst it, snoop around and make sure no one was up to badness. Well, if there was trouble, he generally found it. A couple of blokes in a vehicle outside a service station caught his eye. He felt something was off. Sure enough, as he moved closer, his instinct was right. Things got a little hairy as Al found himself between two blokes in an impending armed robbery on the service station. But with Al, it's all in. Thankfully, as they say, it went all right on the night. Al got his man and thwarted an armed robbery. For the potential victim, it was life-changing. For Al, it was just another day at the office. Whilst Al didn't get to finish his policing career the way he wanted, he achieved so much over 22 years in the New South Wales Police Force. A dedicated cop, a skilled investigator, a born leader. He was an inspiration to so many. I know that anyone who knew Al Duncan will have a story to tell about this legendary man, and I'm sure that those of us present here today will delight in sharing many wonderful stories after the service. I think Al and Julie Tillett have got a head start on us. They're already up there in the bar in the sky throwing jibes at each other about this job and that. Al, also affectionately known as Albie Mangles and Barry Gibb, you have done your bit and so much more. Rest in peace, my friend. You'll never be forgotten.
Thanks, Paul. Albie Mangles and Barry Gibb, quite the combo. All of you here today have a special memory of Allan, and that's why we're here together today. And those memories will be in your hearts forever, and they are personal to you and only you. Whilst we look at some photos and listen to the song that's going to play, draw on those memories. Reflect on your special times with Allan. And when in the future you hear or think of the song, see a photo, or even mention Allan's name, the memories you feel so strongly today will come flooding back to you as if it were yesterday and remind you that Allan is always present in your heart.
The road is long, with a many winding turn that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong. My brother, so on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. If I'm leading at all, I'm leading with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no He's my brother. He's my brother.
Miles from nowhere, guess I'll take my time. Oh yeah, to reach there, look up at the mountain I have to climb. Oh yeah, to reach there, Lord, my body has been a good friend, but I won't need it when I reach the end. Miles from nowhere, I guess I take my time. Oh yeah, to reach there. Make me feel good. Yes, I love everything, so don't it make you feel sad? 'Cause I'll drink to you, my baby. I'll think to that. I'll think to that. Miles from nowhere, not a soul inside. Oh yeah, but it's all right. I have my freedom. I can make my own rules. Oh yeah, the ones that I choose. Lord, my body has been a good friend. I won't need it when I reach the end. I love everything, so don't it make you feel sad? 'Cause I'll drink to you, my baby. I'll think to that. Yes, I'll think to that. I'll think to that. Oh. Miles from nowhere, yes, I'll take my time. Oh yeah, to reach there.
Some of those early photos I really did see Albie Mangles and I really did see Barry Gibb. But there was one there with the German Shepherd in the laid-down pose where he could have been Jack Thompson as a Clio centrefold. Anyway, a little story that I've got about my meeting with Tish and Carly. Tish did say to me towards the end of our meeting, now you've got that it's Tish, not Trish? And I said, yeah, I've got Tish. And I must have had a puzzled look. She said, because when we met, he said, oh, Patricia, we're going to have to shorten that. And then Allan said, I think it'll be Tish. And that, of course, was a throwback to Morticia Adams from the Adams family. And often during their relationship, Tish would be outside pruning the roses, and she'd cut the stem, and rather than put one in the bin, she'd have a collection of them. And Allan would always say, can I get you a vase for those, Morticia? To which she would reply, no thank you, Gomez. Curiously, no one remembers their birth and obviously cannot relate to us about their death. Both events are as natural as wind and rain. So when the circle of life takes only 68 years to go its full 360 degrees, we know that Allan has left this world, his family and friends, way too soon. And I'd like to read you something I'm sure Allan would like me to read to you today. Feel no guilt in laughter, he'd know how much you care. Feel no sorrow in a smile that he's not here to share. You cannot grieve forever, he would not want you to. He'd hope that you would carry on the way you always do. So talk about the good times and the way you showed you cared, the days you spent together, all the happiness you shared. Let memory surround you, a word someone might say will suddenly recapture a time, an hour, a day that brings him back as clearly as though he were still here and fills you with the feeling that he is always near. For if you keep those moments, you'll never be apart, and Allan will live forever, locked safely in your heart. You know, you don't ever get over the shock, the sadness and pain of losing someone you love. I do not believe that grief changes who you are. Grief, if you let it, will reveal who you are. And so moving forward is rarely accomplished without considerable sadness and grief. We may have lost Allan, but not the things he gave: compassion, respect, understanding, friendship, and most of all, love. We're now going to listen to another song, another time, for you all to reflect on your times with Allan. As we listen to the song, family are going to come forward, place a flower with Allan, and say a final goodbye. So let us say farewell to Allan, but not goodbye. Remember all your fondest thoughts of him. Although life seems sweeter when he lived, remember nothing is lost that he gave, nothing destroyed that he has done. Allan, as you watch over those that you have loved, I know that when they listen to the ocean, it will be your whispers that they hear. When a cool breeze caresses their faces, it will be your spirit passing by. This is not goodbye, but thank you. Thank you for touching their lives and giving them joy. Thank you for the memories that they will cherish forever. Thank you for the good times and for your hard work. Thank you for the love and for the laughter. But most of all, thank you, Allan, for being you. You leave this world a richer place than you found it. Today is a closing and an opening, a saying farewell and a saying hello again. So while you say farewell to the Allan that you knew, greet the Allan who will become part of you, because he lives on in you, in the thoughts and the memories that you cherish. And I'd like to read one last piece before we send Allan on his final journey. You can shed tears that he has gone, or you can smile because he lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he'll come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that he has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of the love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he has gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry, close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you could do what he would want, smile, open your eyes, love and go on. It is fitting to remember what we owe to those that have gone before us. Nothing can now detract from the joy and the love that you shared with Allan. Nothing can affect the happiness that Allan brought to your lives. What has been forever. The past, with all its meaning, is sacred and secure. Your love for him, his love for you, his family and friends, cannot be altered by time or circumstance. You rightfully remember that Allan is part of your life forever. And so we now gather as a close circle of family and friends to make our final farewell to Allan. We never lose the people we love, even in death. They continue to participate in every act, every thought, and every decision that we make. Their love leaves an indelible imprint on our lives and in our memories. In this moment of parting, as we conclude this service, we gather to honour the life and memory of Allan. We have celebrated a life well lived, and now we turn our thoughts towards the final act of saying goodbye. Though your hearts may be heavy with sorrow, find solace and strength in the memories you carry and the legacy that Allan has left behind. As we prepare to lay Allan's physical body to rest, we were reminded that the essence of who he was lives on within you. We are here to honour not only the physical body that held his spirit, but also the impact that he made on each of you. Let us take a moment to reflect on the journey of Allan's life, the joys he experienced, the challenges he faced, and the contributions he made to the world. Regardless of our individual perspectives, today we unite in love and respect, celebrating the life that Allan lived and bidding him farewell. There will be hours and days and weeks when the grieving of Allan will come and go and catch you unaware. But try to feel comfort in the love of family and friends that will surround you, and in the knowledge that in you, Allan's love will always endure. As we bring this service to a close, may you carry the spirit of Allan within you. Let his memory serve as a guiding light, reminding you to cherish your loved ones, embrace life's precious moments, and to live life with purpose and compassion. To all who have gathered here today, thank you for joining in this celebration of Allan's life. May you find strength in one another as you navigate the path of grief and healing. Let us go forth from this place with gratitude for the time that you shared with Allan and a renewed commitment to living life to the fullest. In your hearts, Allan will forever remain a cherished presence, and his memory will continue to inspire you. As we bid our final farewell, hold him in your thoughts, forever grateful for the gift of his life. If you were to keep a lasting memory of Allan, remember a man who lived his life like each day was his last. A man who loved Tish, his children, his siblings, his granddaughter Ruby. A man who was meticulous and liked things done the right way, his way, all of the time. A man who will be greatly missed. It is now that we send Allan on that final journey to that place beyond the sunset. We tenderly, lovingly and reverently commit Allan's body to nature's keeping and remember with gratitude his life. May any regrets we feel today be turned into gratitude for our time with him, and may the chill of our parting give way to the warmth and sunshine of his memory that we will cherish forever. And so as we commit Allan's body to the elements, may his spirit fly free and peace be his gift. Allan now goes to that place of peace and rest. From the earth, Allan Duncan came, and to Mother Earth he must now return. That concludes today's service, family and friends. Please take comfort in each other's company this afternoon, remembering a special partner to Tish, father, father-in-law, oppa, brother, uncle, and great friend to many. The family have asked that you join them after today's service at the Illawarra Yacht Club for some refreshments and to share a story or two about your times with Allan. As we listen to one last song, Kirsten from H. Parsons will come forward and ask the pallbearers to come, and together we will take Allan out to begin his final journey, proudly farewelled by a police guard of honour. On behalf of Tish and the family, H. Parsons and myself, thank you for your attendance here today. Thank you.